Hey everyone, it's Lee with Mantis Mechanics, and this is our series called Fake Kung Fu Exposed, where we take authentic Kung Fu skill and show you how it is faked to make people look like they can do things that they really can't do. Okay, these are the posers of the martial arts industry. Okay, our first one is going to be called Iron Throat Skill. Not to say that all Iron Throat Skill is fake. Again, I'm showing you how people who do not have this skill fake it. So here it is, your Iron Throat Skill. Okay, so what you saw from the Kung Fu master beginning was what they call the Qigong, right? So he's breathing hard and he's focusing all the Qi right into this area, right? This is a soft area of the throat, can't take a lot of pressure. So he's focusing the Qi, the idea that the Qi can protect you from bodily harm, including stabbing weapons, or it can help you bend rebar steel, those sort of things. So the more he concentrates and shows, remember, like a magician who just shows you a deck of cards, tells you to pick a card, and you put it back in, and then he immediately says, this is your card, isn't as impressive as if he does all the shuffling. He does some cool shuffling. He talks to you, tells you a story while he's doing it. He has you cut the deck, and then he reveals your card. It makes it more entertaining. It's more of a showmanship. So the more breathing that this Kung Fu master does, and the more it looks like he's concentrating his Qi into this point, the more anticipation there is, the more entertainment value there is. So that is the key to setting this thing up. Now, that being said, if you have authentic skill, sometimes there is some showmanship involved too, right? I've seen people with authentic skill have a little showmanship when really they could just relax, get in the zone, and do their thing. Instead, they do, if they're doing it for like a demonstration, they'll have a little bit of showmanship, breathe a little bit more, make it look a little more difficult for them than it really is. So showmanship doesn't necessarily mean that they're a faker. And if they don't do showmanship, doesn't mean that it's authentic either. Because when you see the second part of this, you're going to see that anyone can fake this very easily, even you. Okay? So here is part 2 of faking the Iron Throat skill. Okay, so the key to this trick is not in the sword itself. This sword is, although it's not a real sword, it's not sharp, it's not, not going to hurt me. I'm not going to use a real sword. There are fakers who use real swords, and I've seen them get cut on their throats from this. That's scary to me. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to kill myself for a YouTube video, especially as of this video. I only have 75 subscribers. If I got to 1,000, we'll talk. Just kidding. Okay. But the key, this is actually like, it's got sturdiness to it. It's not like a wushu sword where you wave it around and it goes boom, 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 boom. It's not that. That's not the faking part. That's obvious to see. If someone's walking up and their sword is dangling and it looks like a piece of crap sword, then of course that's going to be easy to bend. Same thing with rebar, right? You can do this with rebar. You can do it with the spear. They usually either bend the wood, or sometimes they'll go all the way and break the wood on the spear. And it's all in how you push this sword into your throat. It has nothing to do with the sword being fake or real. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to push right into that sternal notch right here. So if I push right now, I go in there and I start pushing lightly. The sword hasn't bent at all, but already I can feel that going into my throat. It does not feel good. Okay, this is a very sensitive spot, and that's what makes this seem so amazing. Okay, is that this is a very sensitive spot, and I'm taking a sword and stabbing it in. If I was stabbing right through, like I was trying to cut right through my throat, it would not be good for me, right? Even with this unsharpened fake sword, right? Practice sword. So if I push straight in, it already starts to hurt. What I do in reality is I push down. So I take my hand and I'm doing this, right? I'm pushing down so that when I'm here and I push down, the blade bends already. And all the pressure is on the bone. It's on the sternum itself. It's not on my throat at all. So when I do this, I start off and I might get prepared again and make sure I draw chi to there again. And I push down and then I push in, right? And now the tip of the sword is laying flat against my sternum because it's bending, and it's not going in my throat at all. So it's just pressing against the bone. There's some discomfort there, but it's not nearly as bad as if it was going through my throat. So instead of having iron throat, I really just have a bone. Nothing really amazing about that, but because I mislead you, I make you think that I have special chi powers. This is how I show you that I don't. I'm going right through my throat. You believe it. If you watch it, it's not real. So again, I don't want you to get duped from real skill. There is real skill out there, but you got to separate that from the fiction. So until next time, we'll see you here on Mantis Mechanics.